Kazi, brought to you by the Ministry of Industrialization. The Ministry of Industrialization tunaimarisha viwanda.
Wananchi wenye bidii hawachoki kutafuta riziki zao. Usinicheke, naendeleza gurudumu la maendeleo. Kazi ni kazi, kazi ni kazi.
The transport sector has been a key player in the country's economy. Rail, road, air and water transport has been significant in supporting the country's internal and external trade. And as Kenya continues to enjoy a well-developed infrastructure compared to other countries in the region, one man has seized the opportunity to unite the East African community through Lake Victoria. Vipul Amin is the managing director at Tricon International. His company runs marine services which allow traders to do business in Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania.
We are basically in the business of shipbuilding and ship operations. The project was initially started with running oil tankers from Kisumu into the lake ports of Mwanza, Musoma, Port Bell, Jinja, which are the main ports for oil movements from here.
For a concept whose usage has only been within the confines of the port of Mombasa, Amin's decision to extend this service to the lake, as he says, was initially met with doubt. His was an exceptional idea, one that even financial institutions needed time to understand.
It was very difficult for them to grasp a project like that because the initial reaction would be, no, we don't know this project, and since we have never come across something like this, we may not be interested into it. So it took us quite a while, about, you would say, at least 5 to 6 months from one bank door to the other.
Undeterred, Amin went on to establish what is now a major player within the marine service industry, transporting liquid and other cargo across the region.
We are carrying crude palm oil on the tanks, and as you see, we carried fertilizer and those products for our clients, and dry cargo that could be the food stuff finished, and raw materials like what we are doing now, fertilizers, to be taken across to, at this moment, to Jinja.
With the demand for foodstuff and other goods set to go up as a result of the newly created market in southern Sudan, local investors are anticipating a major boost for marine transport. With this demand, opportunities are likely to open up even for small-scale traders to transport smaller luggage.
Normally, 5 boxes would be pretty difficult in terms of carrying on a vessel like this, purely because it would mix up cargo. In terms, unless the destination is the same and you would come and say, I have a truckload, if we have the space, we would take your truckload. Yes, we would.
For traders interested in this mode of transport, the process, Amin says, is simple.
When the products come in, if they are being imported, they come into Mombasa port, then the documentation is done. And it comes through the KIE authorities, and we put them in the godowns here, this is the bonded area. And from there, once the paperwork is duly completed, then they're loaded on to the ships. The loading manifest is created by the customs, and the products are moved from here to the destination.
But one who benefits can make all the difference.
When we were running oil tankers, this was becoming the safest way of running or transporting oil, because first, there was no overturning, things like that, and siphoning of stuff. These vessels have been built to standards with double hull and to the environmental factors. So the spillage factor, the pollution, siphoning, all those matters which we always worried about with those kind of products were not at all experienced when clients were moving on the tankers. And carrying in bulk, as I come back again, is always the cheapest way. You cannot beat the marine operation when you have to carry in bulk.
And as Amin enjoys the comfort of an afternoon breeze, there is little indication that his experience with a marine venture has not been as calm as the environment he is basking in. But he knows better.
Those boats which are so small at night, without lights, without anything, have hit ships. And there have been some serious, some fatal injuries. What I think is the biggest problem that we've had, which I think over the last 10 years plus, we have not been able to solve. Though it's very simple to do so. Sometimes I feel maybe there is no political will. sometimes I feel maybe they don't see the interest and the importance of the lake transport operation.
Nonetheless, Amin is happy that his idea has become a livelihood supporting several households, some even miles away.
Well, we have a staff of 20, total administrative as well as the ship crew. At this moment, that's what we have.
Besides transport service, the Africa's largest lake has huge potential, which local entrepreneurs can take advantage of.
We have got a beautiful marine yard here, which is capable of doing vessels the size of the wagon ferry, which are 93 meters plus, carrying 40 plus wagons, which can be built by us right at the marine yard here. We don't need to import them, as it seems to be the normal practice, whether it's here or in Mombasa.
With the growing regional economic cooperation, the demand for marine transport is expected to go a notch higher. And as investors anticipate this growth, Amin is fast rolling out a strategy for the future.
What we would be basically trying to do is accommodate all kind of cargo, to get vessels which are more flexible in terms of taking all kind of goods, whether it's an oversized cargo, whether it's just box cargo, loose cargo, liquid cargo.
But for the Tricon International to be where it is, there has been a silent partner, one who took the risk to support Amin's idea when others kept distance. The Industrial Development Bank Limited, a government agency under the Ministry of Industrialization, saw Amin's idea take the first steps and has been a reliable supporter throughout the journey.
They've been very keen in the initial stage. The officers were very keen to understand this whole project, because it was key for them also to understand. And yes, IDB was pretty patient with us on those first beginning years, and they gave us full support from that point of view, because they did realize that we were genuinely, the potential was there, but it was waiting for it to tap. But once when you go into a new venture, totally unexplored, it takes time for the returns to come through.
And as stakeholders seek to ease congestion at the port of Mombasa, an option lies in upgrading Lake Victoria to handle piled-up cargo and minimize unnecessary delays at the port.
Kazi ni Kazi.
This project was quite unique. Reason being, we've never heard of someone wanting to actually build the ships and float them on Lake Victoria. We only heard of them in Mombasa. We saw the opportunity behind the project because Lake Victoria was basically a common basin shared by 3 countries, whereby that's Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania. IDB came in terms of financial support and advisory support. This was a huge project at the time of implementation. We've been with them since inception until completion of the project.
Kazi ni Kazi, brought to you by the Ministry of Industrialization. The Ministry of Industrialization, tunaimarisha viwanda.
Wananchi wenye bidii hawachoki kutafuta riziki zao. Usinicheke, naendelea.